Since arriving in Texas a few weeks ago, we've been working non-stop on renovating our cottage until everything came to a screeching halt when Texas was hit with the biggest winter storm it's ever seen. Freezing temperatures, ice, and snow left us days without power and water. But we made it through. Hi. This video is gonna start off a little more serious than I normally am. Obviously, you guys know that I'm in Texas. This is our first day with power and water in 4 to 5 days. At some point in there, I started to lose track. If you haven't heard, we've had the craziest storm Texas has ever seen. What started as really cold temperatures and rain and ice, which made it impossible to leave my parents' neighborhood, turned into snow, more cold temperatures, more rain. But we are on the other side of it. Hopefully a lot of Texas is getting their power back now that we're back. We couldn't even keep up with the news, so we weren't even sure what was happening outside of what was happening in our own house. So hopefully everyone is coming out of it now and we're safe and we made it through. And Kinsley still needs a bath, but she's here. So because of the winter storm, I haven't done much. Some things that we were able to accomplish is, this is my room in my parents' house, and these closets were filled with my stuff, my kids stuff, my childhood growing up stuff, where a lot of it is keepsakes, a lot of it I'm gonna keep for the rest of my life. A lot of it I don't want. Since we had some downtime, I cleaned out these closets, especially this one, because I needed some space for my camera equipment, my thrift shopping things that I'm finding along the way for the new cottage. I made some room in this closet, but it did leave a lot of stuff that needed to be donated. I just have all of these dolls my grandmother and my mom both collected for me and probably spent a lot of money on, but I was just one of those girls that hated dolls. I never played with dolls growing up. I never wanted a doll. I never played doll dress up. They scared me and they still spook me. Old college books that I have stacked here. I don't even know how they even got here from California. So it's still really icy and cold outside, so we've got to bundle up and we have to pack all of these dolls and everything that we're donating into the car and head down to the thrift store. There's 2 thrift stores here in town that I really like. One of them, it's always a hit or miss if they're open, especially because of this weather, they were closed. But this one is open. Hopefully they'll want all of our good stuff. Let's see. I need a mask. They are so nice. That's actually the women, it supports the women's shelter. Sometimes I get my thrift stores confused. We're at the house. Woo! It's cold. So I came in a couple of days ago, and that was really in the thickness of the snow. And everything looked okay, but you never know. Hi, house. Oh my gosh, hi. There's my little pile of stuff. I was really worried about the window that we broke when we were taking down the hot tub room, but it was all okay. See the window we broke? It didn't get in here. I mean, it was already kind of like a little bit water damaged anyways. So all of that I wasn't able to put in the container before the snow hit. Oh, my wheelbarrow is full of ice. So I came over and turned off all of the water and drained the pipes before the storm. My dad told me to, thank goodness, because he's smart. And I've never had to do that before, but everything looks really good in here, you guys. All of this junk is all wet. There's our big dumpster. There is so much to do. I have been like itching to do stuff at the house, you know, and I just couldn't for an entire week. It was just crazy, but the snow's melting. Just got a little bit more there. Thank goodness these were not out so they got wet. So these are still, hopefully, yeah, these are still dry. Off to our next task. So this is turning into thrift shopping. We can't pass some thrift stores without, I'm like, let's just pull over and see. So this is turning into a shopping day. We haven't shopped in forever. This is actually a fairly newer thrift store. We just discovered it since I've been back this time. It's called Faith and Funky Junk Thrift Barn. If you haven't seen my thrift shopping video over on the vlog channel, I actually found some vintage books here. I found some other items that I'm going to be doing a thrift flip on, so I'm super excited. So they tend to get a lot of good stuff, which is good, and it's big. So let's see what they got. Mama, hi. They got any more books over here for me? No more. I mean, there's some pretty rust colors, but I already have those. Same ones. So now we're in Lowe's because I need stuff for projects. So I need some paint. I'm getting this one right here. It's kind of like a green, an undertone of green in a dark gray color. Also need some painting supplies. So I need rollers, I need a roller. Don't have much here. I have a lot in LA, but I don't have much here. I got tape already. I didn't find anything thrift shopping. I don't think that people were able to drop anything off. So everything that I saw was stuff that was there kind of the last week when we went, before all of this happened. But that's okay. It was fun to just like be out of the house and like walk around and stuff. Oh, hello. So we're back home now. Let's talk about the guest cottage. When we had no power, I drew the cottage and it ended up being like 840 something square feet, which is way too big. I was like designing a whole house for back there. I don't know why. So here's the first plan that I drew. So here's the front, you enter here, and then there's like a living room, kitchen, dining room, bedroom, bathroom, washer and dryer, and then you go up the stairs, and then this whole back part turns into a loft. And so the bottom was around like 600 square feet, and then the loft on top was like 200. And I think in my head, I was like, okay, this needs to be, this will be a larger cottage for back there. It'll be someplace that we're obviously building it so that we can live back there and work on the main house. And I was like, whoa. It's too much. What am I doing? I went really deep into this idea and this floor plan. I drew the loft up top. I even started drawing all of the electrical, where I wanted light switches and recessed light versus fans and plugs. Let's try again. With every room makeover that I do or any kind of project, I always make a list of like my must-haves or things that I absolutely know I want. So for the guest house, I know I want it to be 500 square feet. Not really, I mean, if it's a couple feet more, that's fine, but I want it to stay around 500 square feet. I definitely want the style and look to mimic the main house so that they complement each other, but on a much smaller scale. So I know I want it to look like a cottage. I know I want it to be a similar color palette and similar just overall aesthetic and style. I know I want it to sleep 2, if not 4 people. I definitely want it to have a kitchenette of some kind. I don't want it to be a full-fledged kitchen, but I think for the one that we're going to live in, it makes sense for it to be a small full kitchen. I wanted to have loads of character. Since it's gonna be a new build, I wanna kind of bring those characteristics of the main house into the cottages on a much smaller scale and make every moment really cozy and warm and inviting and comfortable. Now that we have kind of a must-have list, what I'm looking for, hopefully it'll keep me on track this time. So let's do inspiration. So I always like to start on Pinterest, just kind of getting inspired by different spaces. I already have a comfort cottage pen board that I've been it's just been a dump of all these things that have inspired me for the house, whether it be like one very small detail in a room or an overall look and feeling or certain bookcases or landscaping that I like. Anything and everything I've just been dumping into that one board. And I think I have some, oh yes, for the guest cottage. I love this guest house. Look how pretty that is. And it's a very similar, I mean, we'll obviously take pieces from this, make it look like the main house and then add my own style, but just to give us a jumping off point. Oh, I love this little, yes. I love this little breakfast nook area off the kitchen. I felt like that could be incorporated well. That would be more compact than having a full-size dining room area. And then once I find pictures that I like, I usually scroll down and look to see if there's any more. Usually they'll have similar, like this is pretty too. Like the bench and the seating area just kind of comes off of the kitchen instead of it being a separate space. That could really help with just keeping the space really small. I try to think of words that will populate the inspiration pictures I'm kind of looking for. So since this is a guest house, I started by looking at guest house interior design or interior ideas. Let's go there and see what we can find. Oh, I've seen this. This is an Airbnb in Australia somewhere, I think, and it's super cute, but it's all very open and just all in one room. But it's adorable. I love it. See how compact this one is? Like that's obviously not a full-size kitchen, but there's just no oven. A little sink, a small refrigerator, the microwave, a little dining area. That's super cute though. That one has an oven and a little area because that's a tiny house. That's another thing that we could search for is tiny houses. But when I was researching, there was also granny flats. That was like, oh, search for that because that's in between a tiny house and a like small house. Oh, I guess, what is a granny flat? 12 charming designs. Okay, let's start with just the inspiration that we have. I think I have a good direction with what I've already pinned. So my mom also gave me an idea is she's like, draw the exterior walls first. So draw how big you need it in the 500 square feet on the outside, and then just put all of the stuff on the inside. So fill it with all of the spaces and the areas that I need. Because of the size of the lot in the back, if I put them side by side, I want them skinnier than they are deep. So we could try 20 feet across by 25 deep, or is that enough? As I've been drawing these floor plans, I first draw them with no interior thickness walls. I don't draw any of that when I'm just brainstorming where the rooms are gonna go. So then once I get a plan, I'll go back and I'll redraw the floor plan for real and go from there. I definitely want the front door in the center. So you're gonna enter straight. I love that the inspiration picture has double front doors, like somewhat small French doors. That's really pretty. We would have to find the doors first, so for all of the math to work, but we'll do two 24-inch doors. That'll be 4 feet. And then we can probably have the kitchen and the little breakfast nook area, seating area over on this side. We'll put some 3-foot windows here. And then countertops are 2 foot. Underneath the window, I always like there to be the sink here. I'm just sketching it lightly before I draw like real lines. Stove here maybe. 1, 2, we could have a smaller fridge underneath. Something else that I'm taking into consideration when drawing any of these floor plans is sunlight. Because I love sunlight. So I want to make sure that there's no rooms that are super internal where there's not going to be a lot of sunlight. I don't want the bedroom to be any smaller than like a 10 by 10. I feel like that's enough for a queen bed and 2 nightstands with a little bit of breathing room along one wall. So 10 would be here and here if we wanted the bedroom in the back. But for now, I'm just gonna draw it with no door. We also need a bathroom. So the bathroom could be somehow here. I was looking back at the floor plan that I already drew. Really, the added square footage is coming in from the loft, and then all of this space here for the stairs and the washer and dryer, and then this just area, I made like a kind of a proper area for the dining room table and all of that. I'm like, well, if I'm starting to draw the same kind of layout back here in the back, if I just took, I'm gonna kind of fold it so I can see it, out and brought it back here, kind of like that, did the kitchen over on this side here with like a little dining room, and then made this the living room, that's only about 440 square feet, 441 square feet. That's including the interior walls, but not the exterior. You know, that's okay. I'm just trying to get this around 500. That's a very straightforward square floor plan. You know, and a lot of the character will come into play with like what we do inside. I feel like now that I've drawn it out, 500 square feet isn't that small. I'm gonna obviously play around with this a lot and probably draw this 17 more times as I find more inspiration and figure out how to put things together to make it this like really cute kind of cottaged look, so it still has all the charm and the character. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little rushed and a little different than normal, but I'm just so happy to get back into something normal and start to film again. So if you guys aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification so you know exactly when I upload every Sunday here, and also every week over on my vlog channel, so you guys can check that out too for more shopping videos. And I will see you guys again next week. Bye guys. You got so many places to hide. I find your babies all over the house. You need a bath. You look like a crazy shaggy dog. You look like you've been through it. You've been through it. Look, you got something on your face. Bye guys.